choices in isolation, and other things drama school won't tell you. Chapter 3. The private list. You're not on it. If the industry truly relied on Spotlight, the official paid directory that every professional actor is told is essential, then the data would show a wide and varied distribution of actors from hundreds of agencies. But it doesn't. Why? Because behind the facade of an open marketplace, the real business of casting is often done through private lists. The chain of command. It starts at the top. But before we even get to the casting director's list, we have to acknowledge an even higher level of influence. There are times a casting director will try to push the envelope, suggesting fresh or unconventional choices, but sadly, the final say on principal and supporting roles is often dictated by producers and directors. And who represents these powerful directors? That's right, the very same powerhouse agencies that represent the actors. This creates an incestuous ecosystem. An agency can package a project by offering a director, a writer, and a slate of actors from their own books. The financial and logistical efficiency is seductive for a production company, but it effectively locks out the entire rest of the industry. This isn't just about casting, it's about a vertical monopoly on creativity. The chokehold these agencies have extends from the writer's room to the director's chair to the principal cast, making the idea of an open audition for a major role a near fiction. There is a real culture of in-house casting, and it's a culture dominated by these pre-existing relationships. For drama students and early career actors, you need to know a hard truth. Hard work and graft will only ever get you so far. This isn't pessimism. It's the reality of a system that prioritises connections over craft. You will hear stories of actors who made it after decades of slog, and yeah, graft and gumption can pay off. But look closer at those stories. Very often, the breakthrough coincides with one event. They signed with a major agency. The years of graft finally got them noticed by a gatekeeper who could open the right doors. The talent was always there, but it was the change in representation that changed their access. These private lists are the informal, curated, often unshared spreadsheets and digital folders maintained by casting directors and powerful agents. They contain the names of actors who are pre-approved, known quantities, or represented by agencies with whom the casting director has a long-standing relationship. When a top-tier job comes in, the first port of call is frequently this list, not a spotlight search. This is the dirty open secret of the industry. Spotlight is the sale rack. The private list is the VIP room. This practice fundamentally undermines the entire premise of a fair and open industry. It means that talented actors from smaller or regional agencies are excluded from consideration before the race has even begun. Casting decisions are based on relationships and reputation, not solely on suitability for the role. The same names are recycled again and again, not because they are the only ones who can do the job, but because they are the only ones who are seen. And what comes with these actors being used again and again? Confidence, experience. So many of us will forever be stifled with a lack of confidence because we'll never share in that experience. The bypass, nepotism, influencers, and the no acting experience required. And if the private lists weren't enough, there is another layer of exclusion the majority of actors face. You're not just competing with the agency favourites, you're also competing with nepotism, with YouTubers, with reality TV stars, and with a growing trend for casting directors to pluck a complete unknown off the street. An unknown who may have no formal training and no intention of building a long-term career in the industry. No acting experience required on a casting breakdown from well-known casting directors is utterly depressing. But when it's shared by actors on their social media, honest question, what the fuck are you doing? What you will realise in these situations is a telling pattern. While the one-off discovery or influencer might get a featured role, the principal cast and supporting cast will almost invariably still be from the same stable of powerhouse agencies. The production gets its buzzworthy new face headline, but the core financial and creative infrastructure remains securely within the closed network. The majority of trained, committed actors are then bypassed for someone whose primary qualification is novelty. I don't know why this is allowed. It devalues the craft, the training, and the dedication of thousands of professionals. It suggests that a lifetime of commitment is worth less than a moment of viral fame or a well-connected surname. It all comes down to those at the top being so risk-averse they shit themselves at the thought of not being relevant. Their ineptitude creates a self-perpetuating cycle. Actors on the list work more, which keeps them on the list. Those not on the list struggle to get seen, which keeps them off it. It has nothing to do with talent and everything to do with access. So why do we all pay hundreds of pounds a year for Spotlight? Because it sustains the myth. It allows the industry to point to a tool and say, look, it's all there. Everyone has a chance. While the real decisions are made in private. It is a tax on hope, a fee paid by the many for a system that primarily benefits the few. We really need to cancel it. All the life-changing roles don't even make it to Spotlight anyway. It's a waste of time. The class con. A current narrative insists that working class voices are silenced in the arts. With respect, bollocks. The arts are full of working class actors. You'll find them grafting in day player roles, the roles that top agencies wouldn't dare sub a client for, working in pubs between gigs and hustling to make ends meet, the majority of us living with reality of the financial risk outlined in this book. The real issue is one of curation and amplification. Look at the most prominent actors who platform themselves as champions of the working class. Who represents them? You already know the answer, but again, I will always ask you to verify yourselves. It's the same powerhouse agencies. Shocked? They have been lifted from their authentic backgrounds and placed on a pedestal within the very system that excludes most others who aren't repped by those agencies. They talk about class representation, yet share the same opportunities as those who went to private education. How do they square that circle? They then often start production companies to champion working class voices, yet where do they cast from? The same narrow pool of their own agency's clients or other top tier agencies. It's an illusion of opportunity while solidifying the power of the gatekeepers. Posing another question. Even if they selected an obscure person off the street who then appears in the project, where do you think this person will end up? To nutshell it, unknown person cast in a project gets represented by a powerful agency, goes on to either star in projects or leave the industry when they realise what it's really like. You, drama school, and if you aren't picked up by an influential agency, will forever day play and work precarious part-time jobs because even if you build lots of credits in successful productions, the residuals are non-existent. Sound good? This isn't just bias, it's a nepotistic edge, where access is granted to a select few who then control the narrative for everyone else. So let's be blunt. If the only way for a working class actor to find financial security and a genuine platform is by signing with one of the top 5 agencies, then the system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. There is no class issue. There's a top agency chokehold, a firewall of nepotism.
Best actor? According to who? When only a handful of agents get access to the roles, you're not awarding the best. You're awarding the best connected. The game is rigged, man. And it's time we all said it out loud.
Job an actor.